Italian Football Podcast.
Just to finish off today, we're going to do a profile on Raoul Bellanova, Torino wingback, who has emerged this season as one of the best wingbacks in Serie A, has just got his maiden call-up to the Italy national team. And possibly, we're recording this on Friday, the 22nd of March, potentially might get his debut on Sunday in Italy's friendly in the United States in New York against Ecuador. So watch out for that. But he is getting a lot of interest right now from bigger clubs, Manchester United in particular, who have been scouting him on a number of occasions this season. And Manchester United are looking to sign a right back this summer, and he is on their list of possible targets. So watch out for a potential bid from Manchester United in the summer, but they won't be the only one. Bellanova is young; he's 23. He will turn 24 on 17th of May, so in just over a couple of months. He is, as I said, he is a right wing back, and he's deployed as a right wing back in Ivan Juric's 3-4-1-2 formation at Torino, and his best attributes are he's got lightning pace. He's one of the fastest players in Serie A. He's electric down that right flank, up and down. He eats up the ground, as they say, and eats up the grass, as they say in Italy. Very attack-minded player. His ball carrying is outstanding. He's averaging 4.23 progressive carries a game, which puts him in the 96th percentile in the league. And he has 1.39 successful take-ons per match, which puts him in the 89th percentile. So he's one of the best in Serie A at carrying the ball, carrying it long distances, and eliminating players. Not so much through dribbling. I don't think he's an amazing dribbler, but he's so quick that he can burst and surge into space past his men and just eliminate them. And as a wing-back, that is obviously really, really important. And he's been one of Torino's biggest threats offensively this season. He's got 1 goal, 5 assists, that has led to him getting a call-up for the Italy national team, and somebody to potentially look out for at Euro 2024. There's a lot of competition on his side, so he may just miss out. But he's in the reckoning, and I think he'll definitely have a future within the Italy setup. In terms of weaknesses, he's not as comfortable defensively as he is offensively, and I think for this reason he's more suited to a wing-back system with 3 centre-backs than he is as a right back in a back four. So that's something for Man United and other teams who play a back four to keep an eye on. His crossing in this final ball can also be frustrating. I think it's improved, but it needs to improve. He doesn't pick the right option sometimes. His crossing can be hit and miss, overhit crosses or underhit crosses. But he is definitely a very, very exciting player, isn't he, Nima? Somebody that you watched obviously closely because he was on loan at Inter last season, and he's somebody that you wanted them to sign permanently.
Yes, I did. It was a 3 million loan. It was a 3 million loan with a 7 million option to buy.
From Cagliari.
And he's a player who's very quick, and I think he struggled of course, going from Cagliari to Inter, but then he improved as he went on, and I think towards the end, I think he showed enough to stay at Inter. And I think it would have been worth it to keep him at Inter rather than bring in Cuadrado. And I think together with Buchanan coming in, who's come in now, I think that would have put Inter in a much better position. He's from Milan. He was born in Rho. He was raised in Parabiago, which is all part of metropolitan Milan, and he was an Interista growing up, and he came up through youth ranks at Milan. He's a player who I remember giving Theo Hernandez hell every time he played him. And he's quick. I like his timing of his runs. I think the crossing can improve. And it's a player that I really, really like. I think, he can dribble his man, and I think it was a mistake to let him go. And I think now this season at Torino, he's showed why, and he
Not just let go by Inter, but let go by Milan as well.
yeah,
Grew up
yeah,
in the Milan Youth Academy, 13
exactly.
years there. Then he was sold as a teenager to Bordeaux in 2019, had a series of loan moves, joined Cagliari, and then made the permanent switch to Torino last summer for just 7 million euros. And his value of his his value has gone up massively by then. I think definitely over 20 million now, for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe even more. And so yeah, Man United have been scouting him, but Inter I think have also been linked potentially to bring him back if they get rid of Dumfries, and I'm sure other teams will be looking at him as well, because he is a modern player and he has that lightning pace, which especially in the Premier League is well, you need it. You need
I
it.
really hope he doesn't go to Manchester United. It would depress the hell out of me if he went there, because that given the state and mess of that club, I don't want another player to ruin his career, and especially an Italian one who I really believe in this guy. I really think there is a player there. I hope his next move is in the Serie A. Obviously, dealing with Urbano Cairo isn't the easiest thing in the world, but I do have some sort of vain hope that if Inter sell Denzel Dumfries, that they can bring this guy in. Because I really rate him. I really, really rate him.
Yeah.
And I think it's good for the Italian national team as well. And I think players like him who, I remember after Empoli, he cried because he broke down, and then Inzaghi rehabilitated him and he came back stronger, and he actually came on for many games and overall had I think it was 22 appearances, most of which came towards the end of most of which towards,
and played in the Champions League final, came on in the Champions League final as well.
And I think that's, I think there's a player there. I really, really think there's a player.
No, you can see the potential there for sure.